Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be talking about my makeup inventory for the month of June. I think this is the first year in quite some time that I've done quarterly makeup updates. So my last update was in March and I'll be comparing my numbers to back then. But this is just makeup only. There's no skincare, hair care, body care in this video. And June is my birth month, so I'm just playing. I didn't buy that much stuff, but my numbers did go up for the first time in a while. So I'm just gonna get started with the first category, which is eyeshadow primers. I previously had one in March and now I have two. So I did buy a replacement for the same eyeshadow primer, but they've changed the packaging. I'm not sure if they've changed the formula. I bought it because the eyeshadow primer is starting to like sputter coming out and not come out. Hoping that I can open a new one soon. I've had this open for over 2 years and before that I had it for like a year. So I definitely got a replacement too early both times. Moving on to setting sprays. In March I had one setting spray. And in June, as of yesterday, I have two setting sprays. And I guess I should preface this by saying I did go to Japan in April with my brother, which is why I did do a makeup inventory in March, so I knew what I had. That's why these numbers did go up. I bought another setting spray when I was in Japan. I just bought one to test it because I didn't want to buy multiple and not like them. Last year, bought two of something and ended up not liking it. So yeah, I just bought one setting spray when I was in Japan because my current setting spray is starting to oxidize. I still have plenty left to go before I'm done with it. I feel like more likely than not I will have to toss this because technically it is expired. Moving on to powders. In March I had 3 powders. If you saw my last project pan video, maybe the one before that, you would have seen that I actually used up my powder in my project pan, so I'm down to 2. I don't think these 2 are going to make it to the end of the year. I'm on the green one's last legs. It's not a green powder, it's actually white. It's supposed to be translucent, but it's not. It's translucent if you are like the color of paper, but I'm not the color of paper. It does make me look a little bit more pale. That one's currently in my project pan. And then the Laura Mercier powder, I'm glad I did not buy a backup of this. I just bought one last year, but it is really dark. Like, my boss actually asked me if I got a tan because I was wearing that earlier in the year and I was not the right shade. So now I am, but the difference is so drastic because my face is lighter than my body due to all the skincare products I use. My face will finally match my body. I do have a powder in my shopping cart for when I am allowing myself to make an online purchase again. I banned myself from online shopping because I don't want to see packages at the door. So I'm trying to see how far I can make it before I buy something. Moving on to bronzers. In March I had 8. And as of yesterday I still have 8. They're the same 8. I don't usually buy bronzers when I go to Asia because they're too light. I wanted the Too Cool for School bronzer, but when I saw it in Japan I realized that it was way too light. I have plenty of bronzers already, so I don't need to buy another one. I'm just working on one for now. Moving on to blushes. In March I had 7, but one of them wasn't in my project pan. And this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I did use it up. So I'm down to 6 blushes. And none of my remaining blushes have pan in it. So I'm in it for the long haul for the rest of these blushes. I feel like I'll always have an Hourglass blush in my collection because I do enjoy the formula and I feel like it makes it easy to adjust my other blushes because Hourglass powders are baked and my other blushes are matte. So if I want them to look a little bit more natural, I mix the two. I really like the Hourglass holiday palettes. That's why I feel like I will always have or always be working on an Hourglass blush. Moving on to highlighters, I previously had 11 in March and I still have 11 now. I'm trying to hit pan on one of them, but the problem with my highlighters is that I don't really like super beaming highlighter even though I use the Hourglass one and it is a little bit light for me. And the highlight category includes like strobe lights, which I wouldn't put on my cheeks. I usually strobe in my T-zone and under my eyes. I didn't want to have a separate category for that, so that's why this number is so high. I feel like in the December update I will have at least one less highlighter. It will actually be a strobing powder, not a true highlighter, but I'm excited for that, and I do feel like I have too many highlighters. Moving on to eyeliners, I previously had 2 in March, and now I have 4, and I actually bought 3 eyeliners in Japan. I bought 3 Can Make Creamy Touch liners. They are so thin and you cannot roll the product back down. So far so good with those liners though. They're not smudging. I was worried about that, like that they would bleed throughout the day because I have oily lids, but so far I've had good success with it, and I've only used the pink cappuccino one. So I bought 3, but I used up 1, so that's why I have 4. I may be going to China and Taiwan in the fall, so we'll see if I'm going to pick up more liners there. I do want to try Chinese and Taiwanese brands because I feel like right now I mostly have Western, Japanese, and Korean brands. We'll see though. I don't want to buy it for the sake of trying it and not like it. I'm going to do my research. I also don't want to buy something I'm not going to use. Like, I have so many eyeliners, right? I'm probably going to get like 1 instead of 2. I'm just gonna buy in categories where I need stuff. Moving on to brow products, I previously had 5 and now I'm down to 4. I'm actually very close to using up 2 of my brow pencils, and you may be wondering, why do you have 2 brow pencils open? And the answer is because I colored my hair, so right now it's a darker brown, even though in this lighting it looks like auburn color. It was blonde for a while, so I was using a more taupey color, but now that my hair is darker and my roots are coming in like faster, I've been using a black brow pencil to match my hair color a little bit better. I may be down even 3 brow products by the next makeup inventory, which is crazy because that's going to be in 3 months. But yeah, brow products, I kind of wish I bought some when I was in Japan, but at the same time I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the brow product that I opened from Japan, which is the Kiss Me Heavy Rotation Brow Pencil, barely has any product in it. It's such a waste of packaging. Moving on to mascaras, I previously had 2, and now I have 2. They are not the same 2. So I used up the Clio Kill Lash mascara and I think Super Proof Long Curl, I don't remember. It was a super proof one, which was in the pink packaging. And then when I went to Japan, I bought the Opera Keep Curl mascara. I'm wearing that one today to test it out because I thought I was going to go to Korea in the fall, but it may be Taiwan instead. And I know Taiwan carries Korean brands, but I was thinking like, well, if I don't like the Opera Lash, at least I like the Clio one. And the Opera Lash is good. It's definitely more lengthening than volumizing. The Clio one's definitely more volumizing. I think even the lengthening one is more volumizing and the Opera one is more natural. It's nice, but I want more volume. So I don't know if I would repurchase the Opera one, but I've only used it for like 2 days. It is easier to apply than the Kill Lash though. Moving on to lipsticks, in March I had 3. But I had 1 in my project pan. It was just a mini, but it took me over 200 uses to use a mini, which I don't understand because a MAC lipstick takes over 200, takes about 220 uses to use up completely, like a full size. So the mini was very generous, and I have another mini that was even bigger than the mini I finished, and then a full-size lipstick. So I have 2 remaining, and I have a red lipstick because I feel like I always have a red lipstick in my collection. It's just such a classic color, but I think in the future I will just buy a red lip liner instead, because that way it will last longer as in a pencil formula, and also I feel like I would be wasting less product because I don't wear red as often as I used to. And then the other lipstick is one I got in Korea last year. I really like that formula, but I've been working on my lip glosses more, so maybe I should do a lip gloss no buy. Speaking of lip glosses, I previously had 8, and I'm actually not sure if the pictures are accurate, but when I'm editing, you'll see the correct numbers because I have a lip gloss at work on my desk. I may have forgot to put it in both March and June's inventory photos. But anyways, I previously had 8 lip glosses in March, and now I have 13 lip glosses. I have a lot more lip glosses than before, and I went up 5, but I actually bought 6 and I used up 1. If you saw my Japan beauty haul, I did buy more than 6 lip glosses, but I'm saving 1 as a birthday present for a friend, and I figured she probably hasn't tried this brand because I don't think she's been to Korea. And now moving on to eyeshadows. I broke it down into singles, quads, and palettes, and the reason why I do it like this is because a long time ago I had a pretty big collection, and in order to show everything I owned, I had to split it up. That's why I still do it to this day, because it's easier to see everything, even though I think all my eyeshadow would fit in one photo. So starting with singles, I previously had 6. I still have 6. They are the exact same 6. I have not bought eyeshadow or received eyeshadow in a while. I think last time I got one was last year for my birthday. I constantly forget to use my singles. Oh, except for the MAC one. That one's in a project pan and I'm wearing it today. But it's just like a brown shade. Pretty standard to find in most palettes. Moving on to quads. I previously had 2. I still have 2. They're the exact same 2. And these are the ones that I take with me on vacation. They don't shatter or break, and I just apply them with a finger. It's just easy to not have to think about, you know, the eyeshadow look you're going to go for. And in the past I would forget to use this, but for some strange reason, when I went to Japan this time, I wore makeup every single day. Maybe it's because I was traveling with my brother and he takes forever on the toilet. So I knew I had time to do my makeup. Moving on to palettes, I previously had 4, and at that point I had just decluttered some eyeshadows to my mom. So I decluttered 1 palette and 1 single to my mom because she was looking for makeup, but I told her I would give her something nice out of my collection, and I had barely used either one. So I sanitized it, put it away, and gave it to her. But yeah, since then nothing's really changed. I still have 4 palettes. I think most of them are neutral. I have a lot of cool neutral palettes and 1 colorful palette. But to be honest, right now all I'm using them for is the base layer, like the cream color, to set my eyeshadow primer, and then I'm going in with the MAC Soba single eyeshadow because it's in a project pan, and then a glittery shadow on top. So I'm not really doing that many colorful looks. To be honest, I could probably just have 1 palette and be fine. I just hit pan on 1 of them. Took me forever. I didn't buy any palettes when I was in Japan because I know in Japan the eyeshadows are a little bit light. Same with Korea, but I may try Chinese or Taiwanese eyeshadow because I've heard it's like the perfect medium between Western and Korean / Japanese eyeshadow. So not super glittery, but not super pigmented. And my total without palettes in March was 51 products, or without eyeshadows, not just palettes. So 51 products, and now it's 56. So I did go up 5 products, and I think a majority of those are my lip products. But yeah, that's everything for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in September for my next update.